Hey gang, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. Welcome back to another video. I sound like Bob Wells there. I'll talk about that in a minute after we roll the intro. Today, and this is what I do most of the time, we're going to talk about a pain point that I'm dealing with right now, and that is mail delivery. And as soon as we get through this, I'm going to tell you, what's going on, why I'm having an issue with it, what it's going to take to get it completed, and so forth. So, as always, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you taking your time to watch my videos. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, do all the things, and I'm going to keep saying it. My goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers this year. I'm confident that I can do that if I keep providing good content for you. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, consider sharing it with your friends that might also be interested. Enough of that. Let's roll the intro and we're going to get right into today's topic.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Welcome back. Or as Bob Wells says, welcome back to my next video. And that used to always bother me because it was like, what if you're not watching them in order? But I kind of get it now because it's the next video that I'm making, not necessarily the next video that you're seeing. So there you go. Those are my thoughts around that. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about mail and packages. And there are lots and lots of different ways that you can pull this off. I'm going to give you some of those ideas. I'm going to tell you how I actually do it. I'm going to start off by telling you what's going on with me right now, because by the time you see this, we won't be in real time anymore. I will have been gone. I will have gotten my mail. Everything will be fine. And this all started because, well, I got two things going on. One is I am trying really hard to be as frugal as I possibly can in terms of not spending money that's not bringing me value. And so I decided one of the things that was no longer bringing me value was a Costco executive membership. I don't buy enough in bulk to really be able to justify that cost, plus the rates going up this year. And unfortunately, I also have a rebate check from the previous year because I shared the account with my brother and he was spending more than I was. And yes, I've told him I'm not renewing it. But the issue is I can't cash the rebate check if I'm no longer a member. Well, I'm filming this on February 4th. My membership expires February 28th. And so I got to looking at, what was the likelihood of being able to get to a Costco in my general path of travel, and realized that I'll be passing Costco in Tucson when I leave my current location, which, by the way, is Lordsburg, New Mexico. Go ahead, look it up. It's a kind of a nothing burger town, not a whole lot going on here, but it's a perfectly safe place to be able to sit and wait for my mail, which is what I'm doing right now. Now, if it were just the Costco thing, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I was going to be able to have it shipped to actually another location where I had been, a week ago. But today is Tuesday. Yeah. Monday a week ago, my main credit card was frauded. Hasn't happened to me for a while. My bank is absolutely great about it, mostly. They issued a new digital card to me within hours of having been on the phone with them about all the charges that weren't mine that they had noticed. And I paid to have them overnight my replacement card to my mail service, which we'll talk about what that is, which meant that it would arrive on Tuesday, Wednesday, worst case scenario. And then I would be able to have my mail forwarded to where I was last week, not this week. Well, as it turns out, that didn't happen. I wasn't able to receive the card until last Friday. And so that meant my mail didn't actually get shipped out until Monday. And that means that I'm probably not going to have mail delivered until Thursday, which means I won't be able to get it until Friday. So there's a lot of logistics in all of this stuff, right? And it can be fairly difficult to be able to get mail. But I really believe that having a high quality mail service that you depend on is the best way to be able to accomplish this. Now, I guess I'm going to start by telling you I'm going to start by telling you what you can do. If you stay in one place for months at a time, you can get a P.O. box at the post office in that location. It's not that expensive to do. It's not that difficult to do, but you still need a location that you can have your stuff sent to on a regular basis. So, all your stuff like you probably don't want to change your address for things like registration and driver's license and stuff like that to a temporary mailbox, even if you're going to be in someplace for a few months. So that means that you need to have a reliable location where you can have as your permanent address. And we'll talk a little bit about the difference between mailing address and domicile as well, because they're very, very different things. And so the issue is, for me, my domicile is actually in Nevada. My mailing address is in Texas, and Nevada doesn't care about that. They're a-okay with the fact that my mail goes to Texas. My domicile's Nevada. Domicile is where you vote, where you have a permanent presence of some sort, versus a mailing address, which is simply where things get mailed to and then potentially forwarded to you. So make sure you're clear about the difference between those two things. And I'm not going to talk in detail about domicile at this point. This is just about getting mail and packages because they can be very different. So lots of us order from Amazon. I'm doing a whole lot less of that than I was previously for some reasons that are private to me. And one of the things that I decided to do was cancel my Amazon Prime membership too. And part of the reason for that, guys, is that Amazon Prime's promise was 2-day shipping. I haven't seen anything ship in 2 days since COVID started. It's been, 4 years. I'm not getting 2-day shipping anymore, hardly ever, because I am hardly ever in a metropolitan area where that could happen. You see all the little Amazon vans driving around. That's not me. And I don't use Prime for watching video often enough that it made sense to me to continue spending that money. So I'm letting that lapse as well. But even so, I can still order from Amazon. And really, the difference in delivery time doesn't really seem to make any difference, Prime or no Prime, because I have another account that's not Prime. And I checked it, going to the same address, ordered within 15 minutes of each other, stuff was going to be delivered on the same day. Go figure. So one of the easiest ways to get things like Amazon packages is at an Amazon locker. Now you have to plan because you got to figure out how, and so the way I do it is I'll go into the Amazon cart, I'll start the checkout process, I'll put in a locker location and see when Amazon says they're going to be able to deliver there. And if it's too late, as in I'd already be past that location, then I need to pick one further down my route, right? Until I can find one where I've got a little bit of a cushion, because you get 4 days to pick up once they've delivered. But what if you can't use an Amazon locker, which happens sometimes if the package is too big, for example? Other places where you can get packages delivered, and you can get your mail sent there too, are like UPS stores. Any mail package service in pretty much any town will accept mail on your behalf. They're going to generally charge you a fee, $5 or so per package that they receive on your behalf. But it is a way to get it done. I personally have never had to pay to have that happen. I have some other tricks, and I'll share. You can try this for yourself and see how it works out. If I know that I'm going to be patronizing a business in a particular town and I need to get a package delivered, I may call that business and say, hey, I'm going to be passing through your town. I need to do XYZ in your store. Would it be possible for me to have a package sent there that I could pick up when I come through? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. Doesn't hurt to ask. But you can try that if you want to. Be polite. Be super nice about it. And don't put yourself in a position where, you're being demanding, like you're entitled to this, because you're not. Okay? Oh, thank heaven. I feel like I've been yelling. I feel like I can't hear. My convection oven has been running for quite a while as it's been cooling down because I just baked a delicious loaf of olive sun-dried tomato rosemary bread, which smells amazing. And I did it this time using actual measuring cups and measuring spoons. So I got the exact right dimension measurements instead of just making stuff up as I usually do. So it looks like doing that did make some difference, as I expected it would, because if you're baking, you really should be measuring, not just eyeballing stuff. Anyway, I digress. This is going to be my new theme, as I do so often. So back to the whole package and mail thing, right? Those are some of the ways that you can do it. I've got friends that will get a PO box for, several months at a time if they're going to be in an area. If you're going to be camp hosting someplace, you might be able to get mail delivered to your camp host location. But if you're going to be doing some kind of work camping of some sort, you might be able to get your mail delivered to your work location. But even if you can't, You can usually, get a post office box at a local mailbox if you want to have an address that makes it just easy to do. Most post offices I have discovered, even those that will accept general delivery, and not all of them do, but most of them are really only willing to do that like once, and then they want you to get a post office box. General delivery, however, is another great option to be able to get your mail. You do need to call the post office you're intending to get general delivery sent to, mail sent to general delivery, and make sure that they will accept it, and then find out whether or not they have any specific hours that you have to pick up the mail at during that time, right? So they might be open from 8 to 5, but they may only deal with general delivery mail from like 1 to 3. So you need to know that before you go there and do it. And so in my case, here's a hint for you. I'm in Lordsburg right now, and I'm sitting in Lordsburg because I'm waiting for my mail to get forwarded with my new credit card and my Costco rebate check and whatever else is in my mail. Um, and I'm having it sent to Benson, Arizona, because that was the closest post office box in a smallish town that I could find that's on my way. I'm heading toward Quartzsite right now. And I didn't want to have to do it in Tucson, but I wanted to make sure that I had my mail before I got to Tucson so I can go to Costco and cash that rebate check. See, it's this whole, it feels like a conflagration actually of different things that have to come together to make this all work. And so I just got notified this morning that I can expect my mail to get delivered on Thursday. It says by 9 p.m., which means I'm not going to plan on moving until Friday. And then I'll go to Benson, pick up my mail. I'll go to Costco and Sam's Club, and then I know where I'm going to stay on the other side of Tucson on my way to Quartzsite before I get there. If you don't want to use a P.O. box and you don't want to just do general delivery and you want something that's available to you on a regular basis throughout the year, how do you handle that? How do you get your mail? And you can have packages delivered to these places as well, but getting packages forwarded is more expensive than just getting first class mail forwarded. How do you do that? Well, generally, you're going to end up using what's known as a private mailbox, a PMB. And they're provided by a number of different services. It might be a completely private service. I'll give you an example. In Quartzsite, one of the private services is called Moon Mountain Mail. It's a private service, but it's a mail forwarding, mail processing center. So they receive mail. And interestingly, the way it works in Quartzsite is all the mail goes to the post office. So Mail Messages and More gets their mail at the post office, which includes mail for a whole bunch of people that they're servicing, that Mail Messages and More is servicing. So they're, sorry, Moon Mountain Mail is servicing in Quartzsite. Mail Messages and More is a service in Pahrump, Nevada. A lot of nomads use them as well. You can use UPS stores. You can use Escapees RV Club. That's what I do. We're going to talk about exactly how that works and why I chose that in just a couple of minutes here or less. Um, and you can choose to get your mail delivered in the same state that you domicile, but you don't have to, as I said earlier. I get my mail in Texas. I'm domiciled in Nevada. So it's really interesting the way that that can work. And what is it that I do? Well, what I do is I use Escapees RV Club to receive and handle my mail. And I do it because I'm using their B level program, ABC. I'm using their B level program to scan every first class envelope that comes in, and then they upload it to a secure portal, send me a message. I go look at it. And once I've looked at it, I have three choices. I can say, open it and scan the contents, which is what I usually do. And then I pay 50 cents a page for them to do that. And usually once I've done that, then I'm done with it. I don't need that piece of mail anymore. I can tell them immediately to destroy the envelope, or I can tell them to hold the envelope to send with my next mail delivery. You can set up a mail delivery on a regular schedule. I don't do that. I set up a one-time only mail delivery when I have finally received enough stuff that I feel like I actually need. So usually I get a priority mail envelope once, occasionally twice a year that has everything stuffed into it. And it's like 10 bucks for me to get my mail forwarded. And because I'm having my envelopes opened and scanned, that's generally not a big deal for me to get my mail, right? I've already gotten it. I've seen what the contents are, and that's what's really important to me. So that's why I like using escapees so much. I think you can also use escapees with an address in South Dakota or an address in Florida, depending on where you domicile. And those are kind of the three most popular states for people to domicile in. We're going to do another whole video about domicile coming up soon, because that's a really interesting topic as well. But in terms of mail, that's how I get mine. So there you have it. I'm a member of the Escapees RV Club. In fact, I'm a lifetime member of the Escapees RV Club. And I did that because after I had been a member for a few years, I got the opportunity to buy a lifetime membership, which wasn't cheap. But I did this with a number of different things while I was still working. If I had the opportunity to buy a lifetime membership for something that I knew I was going to remain interested in using, while I was working and making money, I did it. And then I don't have to pay any more fees. I don't pay any fees to be an Escapees RV Club member anymore. If you're not a member yet, it's $49 a year. And I've been using that service for several years. Sorry, I'm looking. Oh, we got another new neighbor. I've been using that service for several years. I've been very, very happy with them. They're always nice. They're always polite. They're always helpful. I've never had a problem with getting my mail forwarded. And in fact, I called them late on Friday afternoon and they said, well, we could get it out today, but there's an extra $5 charge for that. And it has to go FedEx. And I started thinking about what that was going to cost and the likelihood of things going wrong. And I said, nah, just send it on Monday because it's cheap to do it that way. It's usually like 10 bucks to have my mail sent priority mail and, either general delivery or I'm having it sent to a friend's house or whatever. So that's what I do. And that works really, really well for me. I'm curious, what do you do about getting mail? And would you do something different based on, what I've had to share today? Do me a favor, leave a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, do all the stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.